Motley Crue is one of those bands where you either love them or you hate them. They've built international success playing in arenas and stadiums for many years now. It's hard to sustain the type of success they've had, much less reach that level, and they've been able to do that. But they've also had their own fair share of detractors as well. And in the wake of that Mick Mars lawsuit, which has somewhat divided the fan base, people siding with Mick, people siding with Motley, there have been questions about their live performance due to allegations in that suit made by Mick Mars that members of the band may be using backing tracks or miming to a tape. Now, what's interesting is after Mick Mars retired from touring, the band made a very wise hiring decision and brought on John 5, who is a guitar virtuoso. He's a fan favorite. But unfortunately, now John 5 is dealing with allegations that he is using backing tracks during his performance. And John 5, I've been very fortunate to have him here on the Rockfeed podcast, got to hang out with him, talk to him extensively, and I can tell you he's a really good, down-to-earth guy. He's very well liked in the music industry. And for those of you that saw that podcast conversation, you could just see how transparent he was. And it was just a lot of fun. But now he's being accused of relying on backing tracks for his performance. And, you know, I've sat with him, I've watched him play, I've watched him perform. It's impossible for me to believe that John 5 now has some sort of an issue where he can't play his instrument, where if you watch that podcast that we did, he's talking about playing from morning to night, and even while we're talking, he's just sitting there just shredding the entire time. But John 5 is just destroying this argument, by the way, very casually. I thought his response was so nonchalant. He had his cat sitting there climbing on him. And he's destroying this argument that he's reliant on backing tracks. Guys, I really think there's nothing to this. I really do. But this was John 5's response to those allegations, and he's dispelling that here in this video message. So here is the great John 5 responding to these rumors about him apparently miming to a tape or relying on backing tracks to play, and he is completely dispelling this. He's got his cat there too for support as well. Again, I just really like this guy. He's a really likable dude. He seems like a good guy. And when you're as talented as he is, you know, some of these people who are really, really talented and virtuosos, you know, they might have a big ego about that talent they have. And John 5 just does not come across that way.
Hey, this is John 5 here, and I'm with Telly. And I want to clear up some confusion. Somebody on the internet or some website is saying, oh, John's playing to a backing track. His hand isn't even on the guitar. But
by the way, is that a hairless cat? I got to get me a hairless cat.
I do this a lot. It's just hammer-ons and pull-offs. But if you're not a musician, you don't really understand what's going on. So let me explain it to you. So
it's guitar class with John 5. He's not even looking. John 5 is a victim of making it look too easy. That's his only problem is he just, oh, it's got to be fake. He's not even looking.
Very simple. I think the part in Wild Side that's on the internet saying, oh, look, John's hand isn't even on there. I do this thing where I flip the pick around on my neck. Very simple. So it's not a big thing, you know. A lot of things are played with one hand. A lot of musicians know this, so nothing to worry about. No backing tracks. So
just casual.
Very simple. All right, kids.
A+ response there from John 5. Those of you that have seen him live know this guy has no reason to use backing tracks. He is an elite level player. Unlike anything I've ever seen. I got to watch him sit there and play, and I saw his solo show. Solo show's amazing as well because he's really got his skills on full display at those shows, and he's got a big tour coming up as well. I've got the dates up on your screen. Strongly recommend going out to see a John 5 show. Can't have a bad time. I'll tell you what, I walked away from that show having no doubts about his ability on guitar. Again, great response there from John 5. That's your latest update here from Rockfeed. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.